Welcome to the Deep Dive. We sift through the sources to bring you the key insights. Today, we're jumping into a market that might sound quite specific at first glance, the Global Urostomy Bags Market. But believe me, it actually gives us a fascinating window into some pretty surprising global healthcare trends and major demographic shifts happening worldwide. Our main source for this is the Global Urostomy Bags Market Forecast, Growth and Trends Report from Cognitive Market Research.
That's absolutely right. And while, yes, it's a specific product, looking at its market really helps us understand these broader narratives, things like healthcare progress, changes in population structures globally. So our mission really for this deep dive is to pull out those critical pieces. What's actually driving this market's, frankly, significant growth, and what's that telling us about global healthcare today?
And significant growth is definitely the word. The projections are quite impressive. The source suggests this market is basically set to almost double. We're talking from just over $1 billion back in 2021 to potentially $1.84 billion by 2033. That's a compound annual growth rate, a CAGR of almost 5%, 4.87% to be exact. So what's really behind that kind of expansion for, well, a specific device like this?
Yeah, it's definitely not just one single thing driving it. It's more like a convergence, a mix of key global trends happening all at once. So first, you've got the simple fact that the global population is aging significantly. That naturally means more people experiencing conditions that might require ostomy care. Then alongside that, there are these constant, maybe quiet, but important advancements of the products themselves. They're getting better, more comfortable, more discreet. That genuinely makes a difference to patients' quality of life. And then critically, you have improved healthcare access spreading across different parts of the world, plus just growing awareness among patients, among caregivers about the solutions available, solutions that let people live more active, normal lives.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit then. How do these big drivers actually play out on the ground, region by region? Where's the growth really showing up?
Well, if you look at it historically, and even now, North America holds the biggest slice of the pie, the market share leader. The U.S. specifically is really dominant there, and that's largely down to its, very advanced healthcare system, established ways of paying for these things, reimbursement policies, and just a high number of people with urological conditions.
Okay.
And even though it's what you'd call a mature market, it's still showing pretty solid, steady growth, expanding quite a bit over the forecast period. Canada and Mexico are also adding to that growth, helped by better distribution networks for medical devices across the continent.
So North America is still a real powerhouse in this area. What about Europe? That's another big established healthcare market. How does it stack up?
Europe is definitely another major player, yeah. Showing actually very similar growth patterns to North America. Strong and steady. You've got countries like France and Italy, for example, benefiting a lot from their, strong public healthcare systems and more people using these advanced ostomy products.
Mm-hmm.
What's also kind of interesting is the rest of Europe category in the data. It's showing noticeable acceleration, too. That suggests there's real potential in some of the, say, emerging Eastern European markets as their healthcare systems continue to develop.
That is interesting how these, already advanced markets keep up that kind of steady, pretty impressive growth.
Yeah.
It really speaks to ongoing need and, like you said, the impact of better products.
Mm.
Okay, but here's where it seems to get really interesting looking at the global picture. Some regions are apparently growing even faster, maybe hinting at where the future momentum is really building.
Mm-hmm.
What can you tell us about those areas?
You're absolutely right to focus there. That's where the dynamics shift a bit. The Asia-Pacific region, for instance, is really emerging as a strong growth hub for urostomy bags.
Yeah.
It's expanding significantly faster than North America or Europe. The CAGR is higher.
Right.
And countries like India are really leading that charge. That's driven largely by, increased investment in healthcare generally across the region, and again, that demographic factor, the growing elderly population. Singapore also shows very strong growth rates, and the wider rest of APAC group is showing really rapid uptake. They're adopting these modern ostomy solutions quickly.
And South America is on a similar path too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Positive trend there.
Yes, South America is also showing good momentum, strong growth.
Mhm.
Argentina is noted as a leader there, and this seems to be linked to ongoing healthcare reforms happening in the region and just medical devices becoming more widely available, making these solutions accessible to more people.
So when we see these different growth speeds, steady in the mature markets, but really accelerating in others like Asia-Pacific and South America, what does that tell us overall about how global healthcare is developing? What's the kind of bigger story?
Well, I think it tells us a lot about the pace of modernization in healthcare and access. It highlights the impact of just getting foundational improvements in place. Established markets grow robustly because the systems and awareness are already there. But the really explosive growth, relatively speaking, happens where healthcare infrastructure is expanding rapidly, maybe from a lower starting point. It reflects this global push towards improving patient outcomes, improving quality of life, and reaching populations that maybe historically didn't have easy access to these kinds of vital medical solutions.
And speaking of explosive growth, the report singles out one region as the clear global leader
Yeah.
in terms of sheer market expansion rate. What's the story there?
Ah, yes. And that would be Africa. It really does stand out. It's flagged as the fastest growing region globally for urostomy bags by quite a margin, actually. The numbers are striking. It's projected to nearly triple its market size between 2021 and 2033.
Triple.
Yes, achieving an exceptional compound annual growth rate of 8.55%. That kind of pace is, oh, well, it's remarkable in any market context.
Wow, nearly tripling in just over a decade. That is astonishing. What on earth is driving that kind of speed in Africa? And what does it suggest about how healthcare is changing there?
It's a really important question, and the drivers are key to understanding sort of global health equity trends. What we're seeing reported is much better access to hospitals, first of all. Then there's the significant impact of international aid programs helping to build up healthcare infrastructure. And importantly, Africa has a young but very fast growing population that is increasingly able to benefit from these improving medical systems.
Right.
So it suggests that when you make those foundational investments in healthcare infrastructure, even for more specialized devices, you can unlock huge progress quite quickly.
That makes sense.
It really raises that important point, doesn't it? What do these numbers truly reflect about the deeper societal changes, about access to care improving globally? It's kind of a testament, really, to the idea that when access gets better, quality of life follows, even for conditions needing ongoing medical support. And just to add, we also see markets in the Middle East, places like Saudi Arabia, the UAE showing steady, meaningful growth too. Again, linked to increased healthcare spending and patient awareness.
So bringing this all together then, what does this all mean for you, our listener? What's the big takeaway from this deep dive into what perhaps initially seems like a very niche market?
I think it means that this specific market, the urostomy bags market, it serves as this remarkably clear lens. It helps us see these bigger, interconnected global trends playing out. The market's on a path of, well, steady, but also quite diverse growth. And it's being shaped fundamentally by these huge forces, demographic shifts like global aging, the ongoing modernization of healthcare everywhere practically, and this growing global emphasis on patient comfort, on mobility, on quality of life. So these specific market numbers, they really reflect broader human progress, societal progress, in improving health and well-being across the planet.
Yeah, this deep dive really has shown how looking closely at one specific medical device market can actually be a powerful way to get a handle on these significant global healthcare and demographic trends. Understanding these dynamics, it really does feel like a shortcut to being better informed about how the world's health landscape is evolving right now.
Absolutely. And maybe just the final thought to leave you with, beyond just the impressive numbers and the market growth itself, maybe reflect on how increasing global connectivity and this growing focus on patient-centered healthcare, how that's fundamentally changing who gets access to vital medical solutions, even in regions developing very rapidly. I think it's a powerful reminder how seemingly small, specific advances in medical care can add up to really vast improvements in quality of life, truly on a global scale,